and away we blow.
She has no life, she has no friends, she's got no clue, she's trans and mental. She watches things, she watches you. Hoya hiya, TikTok water booty, Patricia Elise. How are y'all doing this evening?
Huh, y'all thought I forgot about Tranish, didn't y'all? No, hell no. No, sir, or ma'am. I did not forget about Tranish. That's my language, and I am still refining it.
So, before I get started on this video, well, first let me say what it is. Duh. It is another episode of Watch Me Watch Stuff. I guess you kind of could figure that out already. So, yeah, this is another trans bathroom video, and I know I said I was done with this whole topic, which I am for the most part, but I will always do suggestions, so even if it's something I don't want to talk about or whatever, you suggest it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna go into it with an open mind, an open heart, and a whole lot of sugar, because I have consumed a lot of sugar tonight. So, be prepared.
And yeah, I guess that's all the gossip I got. This video is sponsored by my lose. They have funded the whole ordeal, so you can thank them later by modeling them, I guess. Alright, let's get into the reaction.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to react to this video that features two men going into the women's bathroom. And I think the way this was handled exceptionally. And because of the UK Supreme Court ruling, businesses and various venues are forced to recognise that men cannot just walk in and out of the women's bathroom. So let's take a look.
These are boys.
Man in the women's he's a drag queen. You're men.
He says we are two transgender females. You see how language is so important? Just to desensitise people to the reality of what's going on here. Two men have walked into the women's bathroom. That's what's going on here. I don't care how you're dressed. I don't care what labels you put on yourself.
Did anyone say anything to you guys what you guys were uncomfortable about?
Yes, your presence. Your presence as a man. It's against the law.
I'm telling you, ever since the Supreme Court ruling, it has enraged these men. And they've taken the attitude that we're going to show you, telling us that we can't come into the women's bathroom. We're trans women. Because unfortunately, it's still not being enforced as it should be. But these women are not standing for it, and I'm so glad to hear this. And you notice that they're not tiptoeing around. They're not mincing their words when it comes to explaining that two men should not be in the women's bathroom.
And you're all recording, right?
Yes, because you are two men. You're a man in the women's league. Are you why are you in the women's league? They took the wrong. Why is a man in the women's league? Yeah, you're.
Are you talking to me? Yes, she is talking to you. That is what you are.
You're a man, like why are you in the women's league? Why do you feel the need to be in here with women? Under the Supreme Court. Do you have respect for women's boundaries?
What you're saying is you can't come into a toilet, period.
No, you can go into the toilet with yourself.
And apparently there were other options, like gender-neutral bathrooms as well. But they had to be in the women's bathroom, of course.
Are you understanding? You're two transgender females.
So you're men.
Transgender.
If you weren't a man, you wouldn't have to call yourself transgender. And you're not female.
Oh my God.
Look at the size of it.
My God, how tall is he? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh yeah, but we get tall women. So, what does that matter? We get tall women. Yeah, tall women, females. And, if we're intimidated, we're bigots. No, it's a natural reaction. for seeing two men in the women's bathroom. And you dressing like that doesn't actually make it better. It really doesn't. I'm just saying. 6'8". If someone said 6'8", it wouldn't surprise me.
Give it to me.
Don't touch my stuff either. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Why are we being aggressive? 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 Because you're not even bitch already.
Yeah, and then the aggression starts, of course. Of course. And in a situation like this, are these two going to be the vulnerable ones? Give me a break. Thankfully, there's power in numbers. There's a number of women in that bathroom all standing up for each other and saying that we stand together, and we're saying that this is wrong. You are breaking the law. Thank goodness.
Guys, relax, it's okay.
Said nothing to any of you.
It's okay, just relax. Relax, guys, relax.
Don't touch nothing.
Bye bye. Bye boys. Guys, stop. It's not needed. Relax. It's not needed. Don't let men in the women's rooms.
It's as simple as that. Don't allow men into the women's loos. And you saw there, or heard there, he was threatening violence. I will slap the blank out of you. I will show you I'm a man. These people hate women. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pretend. Okay? This isn't sisterhood. A lot of these guys hate women, and they hate being told no. The Supreme Court told you no, and they can't handle it. So I'm so happy to see that, even with a female security guard escorting them out. I'm so happy to see that. And that's how it should have been from the very beginning, when men walk into the women's bathrooms. But unfortunately, over the years, we've been conditioned. They've convinced people to change their language even, and to refer to these people as women, putting out that message that this is a kind of woman. A lot of people fell for it. Now, I'm not saying that, we should harass anybody or bully anybody. But when a man comes into the women's bathroom, it doesn't matter what label he puts on himself. A woman is still going to be uncomfortable, is still going to feel intimidated. Women deserve their own spaces and need their own spaces. And to tell somebody that you should not be in the women's bathroom because you are male, that's not bigotry. People have been told it's bigotry. Young girls have been told it's bigotry for the longest time. And clearly it's not working anymore. People are not falling for it. And that's what they don't want. They don't want to be told they can't go there. They don't want to be told to get out. Silence should not be assumed as consent. There are many reasons why a woman may be silent as her boundaries are eroded. It's heartening to see that the Supreme Court judgment gave these women the courage to break that silence. It's always risky confronting men. You don't know how they'll react. These young women were very brave. However, the choice between taking this kind of risk or losing your rights is no choice at all. The point is to make women uncomfortable. There were gender-neutral bathrooms on every floor. He doesn't care. He wants to barge into the ladies and force women to accept it. No. Good for these women. Note the effing size of the fella when he stands up. Insane. Footage from about 5 minutes later. Once we all had been released from the bathroom, the 7-foot-tall one lunges to the door, but is held back by the security guards, thankfully. Oh my goodness.
Okay, call and over that side.
Can we not go and get our stuff?
Yes,
You're protecting
of course.
men from
The
women.
permission is over there.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I think he's on.
I'm the organizer of the event that was in there. I need to get my stuff and my work laptop, so I am going in there.
So they're frustrated that they're not allowed to leave yet. She even asked, are you protecting the men from the women? But I think it's the other way around. He's obviously pissed, and, that's not a good situation. The guy is almost 7 feet tall. And I think it's a good idea that they stay there for a little bit until security says that the coast is clear, because, so you do have to be careful when you confront these men. You really do have to be careful, because you just don't know. They put on a dress and a pair of heels, but they can't get rid of that male pattern aggression? Where is the lunge? These two people remained remarkably calm while being aggressively accosted by what sounds like at least a dozen people. They should never have been there in the first place. And if a man walks into the women's bathroom, he should be accosted and told to get out. And I'm glad all the women stuck together and there weren't some, women in the corner saying, oh, you're transphobic and all this business. So let me know what you think. Do you think the women were right to confront these two men? Or should they have just, left and then maybe reported them later? What do you think? Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves and God willing, I will see you in the next video.
Well, tomorrow I have some shopping to do, so guess what I'm gonna do? You've already guessed it. I'm gonna venture into the ladies' room. And I hope it's busy. For no other reason other than just to, I guess, spite that woman. I'm sorry, it would be so much easier to see their point of view, and which I do kinda, but it would be so much easier to get with it, I guess, if they could do it with, they're just vicious about it. It's stupid. Really? That big of a, come on now, sisters. This is what happens if you don't really pass. If you're noticeably trans and you go into a woman's room, it breaks my heart every time when I see this, because you go in and you don't pass very well, and it should not be this way at all, but it is. You go in, and you got to look at it from the ladies' point of view. They all, if they're bigots, or trans, they don't like trans people or whatever, they just see you. They're just going to see you as a man, and so all they see is a man going into the women's room. Fuck all that. But that's the way the world is. So it just breaks my heart every time I see this. I hate it. I really do. It's so unnecessary. And on a side note, this BritUSA chick, screw her. Yeah, that's like Treehouse News levels of bullshit right there. My goodness, lady. It's just so mean. Like, men. Well, you don't know anything about these trans women, okay? You don't know anything about them. Can't get rid of their male pattern aggression? Excuse me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I have recently finished my transition, and guess what? I'm more of a woman than you'll ever be. Yeah, I just said that, lady. I hope you watch this. I am more of a woman than you will ever be. I'm more ladylike, I show more class. I have more charm than you will ever be. And all I know about you is that one stupid video that I just saw. That's all I need to see to know everything I need to know about you. And you suck, okay? I suck too, but in a different way. I'm cool, actually. I don't like that lady, BritUSA, and I hope to God she sees it someday. Our president's talking about taking over Greenland, okay? And we're flipping out over, trannies. Really? There's so much more going on. Why is this even an issue? It's so mean. It's like they don't realize that we are human beings, okay? They don't understand that. Maybe they do. I don't know. They just don't care. I don't know. For whatever reason, they see no problem with just tearing these trans women that were on there down. They don't know nothing about them or anything. They just automatically, you're a man in the women's. No, wait, hold up a minute now. You don't know anything. They could have had a vagina. Who knows? They had gender-neutral bathrooms there, though. They had gender-neutral bathrooms, remember? And maybe they didn't want to use a gender-neutral. It would have been a better idea, for them to just go in there. Or, if they don't want to go to the men's room, which I could have, yeah, it could, why wouldn't a trans woman want to go into the women's bathroom, okay? You don't Well, I guess you can't because you're not us. But if you just felt like us, or if you could see the world through our eyes, you would completely understand. Or, you know, if it ever happened to you, if you got struck with gender dysphoria, God forbid, you know, then I would feel you might have a little bit of empathy, okay, or a little bit of sympathy, whatever. You might care a little bit. You might be able to stop being such a bigot. Oh, people are going to say I'm a bigot. Well, you're acting like a bigot. You're talking like a bigot. I'm sorry, but you are. Does anybody know the definition of bigot? I don't know the exact definition, so I'm not even going to pretend to, but I know what it means. Hating on somebody for being themselves, basically, or hating on a group of people for being themselves. We are people, too. We are a group of people. We are a... we are part of the we are a portion of the population, whatever, however you say that. You know, y'all get what I'm getting at here. I'm so riled up, I can't think right now. But we are a group of people. And you're hating on us just because of how we are. And you would say, no, well, it's because you went in the women's bathroom. Okay, well, again, maybe we say we see ourselves as women, okay? So, I'm sorry. Most of us do. Us real trans women, we see ourselves as women because we are. I am nothing but a woman, okay? So, you can call me whatever you want. You can say whatever you want about me. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to change in my head. So, you're just wasting your breath. It's not going to make you feel any better because it's not going to get to me. I'm sorry, but those days are over. I used to wear my feelings on my shoulder. And I used to just let everybody just hurt my feelings constantly whenever I was, you know, early in my transition and stuff. And, you know, it's like, I just kept letting people do it to me. And I said, it was before I started this channel. I said, enough. Fuck this shit. I'm not going to let the world do this to me. I'm not going to let people like this BritUSA do this to me and make me feel like I'm subhuman for being myself and feeling the way I feel. So anybody that doesn't like trans people, how about 2 middle fingers, okay? And I mean right up your asshole too. I'll finger your ass. How's that? 2 middle fucking fingers right up your fucking asshole. And I hope you like it. Guys, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you again for the suggestion, viewer. You always give me great ones. Keep them coming, please. And it don't matter what the topic is, don't ever worry about it. Even if it's something I don't want to talk about, I'll still do it. And I always appreciate it. And yeah, I'm glad I watched the video. So, y'all have a wonderful evening. And again, I always say this and then I see shit like this, but I'll say it again. Why can't we just try to fucking accept each other? I don't know. You gotta look at everything from both sides. So I do. So I am trying to see it from these ladies' point of view, okay? And yeah, that one trans woman was really tall, okay, and looked a lot like a man, okay? Well, it's like, man, the importance of passing, and it really is important. All right, guys, I'll see y'all on that video. Goodbye.